Welcome back, and in the last episode we completed the rebuild of this engine. Now it's time to get it back into the car to see if this thing is actually going to run. But before we do that, I just wanted to change the seal on the automatic transmission. Here's the old one for comparison. Hopefully this will prevent any leaks when we put this thing back together. I also got carried away with the torque converter and used my homemade evaporust to clean this up a bit, and it looks much better. So yeah, we can put this back in now. It's making sure these notches are properly engaged. Next up, I've just replaced the thermostat and also the coolant sensor. Here's the old one for comparison. This will just be easier to fit than doing it once the engine's back in. And voila, we finally got the engine back in the car after much perseverance, mainly trying to make sure it lined up with the transmission and also get the mounts in. But we got there in the end. So right, we're now a step closer to seeing if this thing is actually going to work. So before we crank this thing, it's probably worth putting some oil in it first. So we're just going to pour it in here, and then we can pressurize the system here using the oil pump drive. And I believe this thing takes about 5.5–6 litres, so I'm going to get busy pouring and come back when that's done. So here we can see on the dipstick that should be enough to crank this thing over and not cause any damage. So I'm now going to put the cover back on the cylinder head, and before that I've just put some silicone here in these two spots just to prevent any leaks from the back. And here I am just torquing up the bolts on the cover to 10 Newton meters. Next up, I just want to build up some oil pressure in the engine. So I'm just using an electric drill and turning the drive on the oil pump anti-clockwise, and you can see the oils now starting to come up to the top of the engine. So before fitting the starter motor, I decided to strip it down and just give it an inspection just to make sure that it's still okay. And after a clean, it all seems to be in good working order. I'll be ordering some new brushes for the motor, but apart from that, it all seems okay. So once the new parts arrived, we can look to put this thing back together and see if we can crank the engine over for the first time since the rebuild. So we're now ready to crank the engine, and I've reinstalled the starter motor, and I've just used a piece of wire just to bridge the motor and the solenoid. And I've also got the positive going to the main motor and the negative on the engine. So yeah, we're going to get out the trusty compressor tester and see if we finally got compression back on this engine. So far so good. Looks like the first cylinder is coming in at around 185 psi. So cylinder 1 we had 182, cylinder 2 we also had 182, cylinder 3 we had 172, cylinder 4 200, cylinder 5 191, and cylinder 6 191 as well. So the numbers are encouraging but also inconsistent. But I think we can put this down to the fact that we've installed new rings on all the pistons, and also there's still a ton of oil in the cylinders from when we did the installation. So hopefully once we run the engine in and all the rings bed in, we should get much more consistent numbers across all the cylinders. So a common problem with these engines is the plugs that go onto the fuel injectors, and you can see here the old ones broke when I was taking the engine out. So I'm going to replace them. And in order to do that, you just need to basically prise off this back cover. Then once that's off, we also then need to remove this thing inside just by lifting it out. That just secures the pins. And then we can carefully use a tool or a little screwdriver, as you can see here, and then gently put it into the little slots and hopefully just release the tabs that are holding the pins into the connector. and then they should come out like so. So yeah, I just need to do this another 5 times, and the installation is just the reverse of what you just saw. So I've done a bit more on the wiring and also installed some of the hoses. Now next up I want to reinstall the fuel injectors, and here they are. So these have been cleaned in my ultrasonic cleaner, and I've also tested them using some carb cleaner, and fitted new O-rings as well. So once we've done that, we're going to again fit the exhaust manifolds. And here you can see I've fitted the new gaskets which came with the rebuild kit, and I've also cleaned up the surfaces on the manifolds, so hopefully when they go back in we'll get a good seal. So I was cleaning up the intake manifold, and then I just wanted to check that the variable intake was working properly. That's controlled by this barrel here, and just wanted to double check that these plastic rings are still okay, which they are. And then also check that this vacuum control thing is working, which it seems to be. You can see it just goes in here. And then finally I also just cleaned up the throttle body, just making sure all the dried oil and carbon was removed. So the intake manifold is now fitted back on the engine, and I've also just been sorting out some of these vacuum and coolant hoses just to make sure that they're all properly connected. And for the first start we're going to install some new plugs as well. So I'm just doing some final checks before we try and see if this thing will run. And I've also reinstalled the intake pipe with the MAF sensor, and also refitted the transmission cooler. And finally, I'm going to make sure we've got the fuses and relays in for the fuel pumps. And now the moment of truth. After many months of rebuilding this engine, will it finally start? And the answer is yes, fantastic. So it sounds alright. Seems to be a bit lumpy, probably because it just needs to sort itself out. And also probably some of the fuel that's in there is a bit old and stale. Even though I tried to pump it out and replace it, there could still be some in there. So yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. There's no obvious knocks. It actually seems to sound worse on camera. I don't know if there is some sort of vibration that's making it sound worse than it is, but no, so far so good. Just coming down to idle now. You can see now the camera's shaking. It's not misfiring, it just seems to be running a bit lumpy. So I don't really want to be running this for too much longer, given there's no radiator attached and therefore no coolant. I don't want this thing blowing up again just after I've rebuilt it. You can see a bit of smoke coming off the exhaust side, but I think that's just the manifolds heating up and starting to burn off the WD-40. But yeah, let's get this thing switched off just to avoid doing any damage. So I've had a look at the alternator and realised it's in quite bad condition, so I've decided to recondition it. You can see the outer casing, and here's the rotor looking quite rusty, and the slip rings are quite worn. Also the stator here looks okay, but there's still quite a lot of rust on that as well, so I want to clean that up. And the rectifier, seen better days, and also the regulator with the brushes quite worn out, and also the overrun pulley doesn't seem to be in the best condition and is seized up. And in addition to that, we've got the two bearings, which are kind of okay, but they seem to be a bit noisy. So yeah, I'm going to order some new parts and rebuild this thing. So the new parts have finally arrived, and I've just been cleaning up the other bits. Here you can see the stator. I've just used some like evaporust, and it looks a lot better. And also the rotor, the same. And you can see that I've just removed the slip ring. So here are some of the new parts. We've got the new slip ring here that I'll have to solder on, and we've also got two new bearings. and a new overrun pulley, and here's the regulator with the part number there, and also a new rectifier part number. So yeah, let's get all this back together. So here's the alternator cleaned up, reconditioned and rebuilt, and seems to be working fine. So yeah, that's ready to go back into the car. So here you can see the alternator is fitted along with the AC compressor and the power steering pump. I also changed the pulley on the tensioner as that was making no noise. And another thing I noticed was this breather hose from the fuel tank was quite worn out and it was cracking, so that's just been replaced just to make sure there's no problems there. So now we can move on and fit the radiators. So here are all the radiators installed and reconnected, and that will be properly secured when we put the crash bar back on. So next up I'm going to fill up the power steering fluid, make sure that's not empty, and then also get some coolant in here so we can get this engine to run up to temperature. So with that all done, let's give the engine another start so we can run it up to temperature. Seems to be running a bit lumpy. Okay, it's probably just the ECU sorting itself out. Let's have a quick inspection, make sure that everything's doing what it should. Yeah, it sounds alright. So yeah, I'm just going to let this run up to temperature now and just make sure I bleed the cooling system. So yeah, so far so good. Right, next we're going to carry on and see if we can get this thing ready for an MOT. Thanks for watching.